Perfect. 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 Perfect.
What's the mother fucking deal if you smell what the Texans are cooking? But what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas Homer network. Means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. So with that being said, hey man, it's fucking Friday. I know something been getting on your nerves this week. I know something been bothering you. I don't know if it's your teacher, if it's your old lady, if it's your significant other, if it's your dog, if it's your boss, if it's whoever, whatever, you know, the motherfucker in traffic cut you off, you know what I'm saying? Your neighbors be fucking doing too much. I mean, whatever it may be, man, it's fucking Friday. Got to know how you feel. And for those of you who don't know, well, this is Sauce Sports, and I am your host, Head Honcho. So welcome to the program. If you're new to this and not true to this, man, hit that like and subscribe button, man, so you can be a part of the fresh ingredients, the freshest flavor in H-Town sports. And that is Sauce Sports, you know. I don't know how y'all doing tonight. We're going to talk about the Jets. We're going to talk about the Texans. We're going to talk a little bit about Harden. Like I said, I haven't got back into the full Rockets groove. It's just it's not quite the time yet. I can't do it after a nice win. You know, I don't like to be bandwagoning, but we'll get back on that eventually once everything gets worked out. I know some folks been asking about the Stay Saucy. It probably won't be done until Sunday. I keep pushing it back because I keep doing too much. I always see this and do that. No, I can do this and do that. But anyway, again, welcome to Sauce Sports, man. If you don't already follow, man, follow on Instagram and Twitter at Sauce Sports HTX. Guess what? It's free. So go ahead and give your boy a like, give your boy a follow, so you can always stay on top of when we will be streaming, when we will be dropping some new videos, all that good stuff. I was running into a little bit of technical difficulty, so I didn't get the message out on the gram today, but usually I try to get that done, so I apologize if you missed it, but it is what it is, you know. YouTube was doing some stupid shit. It didn't save anything, and so I had to re-input all the info. Just a bunch of dumb shit. Anyway, appreciate all of y'all who have joined us this evening. I appreciate everybody who is here, who has made themselves available to spill a little bit of sauce. And again, like I say, we're going to get into some good conversation. We're going to talk about some things tonight, and I'm going to be kind of tweaking some stuff in the background because it's just a bunch of tomfoolery. But again, like I said, I hope all is well. I hope everybody's doing good. And after the stream, make sure you slide by and check out the video I dropped beforehand. And so mainly because of, most of what we're going to speak on is dropped in the video. We'll talk a little bit, and then we're going to open up the sauce line. We're going to see how y'all feeling this evening. I just kind of want to get y'all's opinion. But before we do that, like I said, we got to get the Sauce Nation roll call in. And so that means if you are from the greater Houston area, let me know where you're at so I can send a little bit of digital love in your direction. If you're not from the Houston area, man, it's all good. Still got love for you. We'll still send some sauce in your direction. Just let me know where to send that shit. So let's see what we have joining us this evening. And then we'll get into the conversation, man. We'll jump into it, and we will talk about some things. So I see B. Shell, Jerry Montalvo, T-Mac, Rigo, Texas Trill, my fault, Frankie and H-Town, Hector Rodriguez, Heidi, hooping with the Tigers, maybe the TSU Tigers, I don't know. H-Train, Robbie, what's the motherfucking deal, man? ADI Music, H-Town Sports 96, good to see you. Joshua Jaja, what's the motherfucking deal? That boy Los, Eric Edwards, what's the motherfucking deal? Days, what's going down? Always good to see you, man. Anthony Bailey, Footballer 503, Max Vasquez. Oh, man, hey, look, you pre-rolling in control. Man, hit that about 3 times for your boy. It's been so long. Damn, I didn't even realize, hit the 6-month mark a couple of days ago. Zach, yeah, you're a Dallas fan, but yeah, Jonathan Golston, what's the motherfucking deal? Brownsville in the house, Northside in the house already. My Town Trail, what's the motherfucking deal? Southside still dripping, Honcho Jewelry, Titans up, what's the motherfucking deal? Mello, what's the motherfucking deal, man? I see Baytown Dirty Bay in the house, Germany in the house already. Yeah, I don't know if I'm proud of that 6 months though. I'll be back at it. I'm just, like I said, I've set myself a goal. Until I reach that goal, I don't want to get back under control. Gotta accomplish something, I guess. So it is what it is. S.A. Steve-O, what's the motherfucking deal? So here's the deal. Here's what's shaking, man. A lot of interesting things going on around the city. The other day, U of H, they slapped LSU a little bit. They just say, hey, look here, watch that little bit. Slapped him in the mouth real quick, let him know what was shaking. You saw another little purple and gold. So I guess we've been slapping around purple and gold, motherfuckers. Too bad the Jets don't wear purple and gold. And you know, Lakers come to town, and that dude, Prince James. No, we got James Prince. We got the J Prince. Definitely couldn't be King's James because that's James Harden apparently, because we saw what happened with that. So some guy named LeBron James, I guess, came to town. He got ran up out of there, and you know, it is what it is. And then we got the Texans coming up. So here is the deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not taking the G's. Exactly. The nigga who could, what's the motherfucking deal? So, again, but we're going to talk about the Jets, the Texans, and, you know, last week, I talked a little bit of shit. The Colts were a little bit better, way better than the Jets, actually. But, you know, they ended the streak. The Jets, they broke their streak also, but their streak was a losing streak. Our streak was a winning streak. And so, you know, they're feeling themselves because Sam Darnold made one play, and they're praising him for it. I think that's the only touchdown he threw. So he threw one interception and one touchdown. And the one touchdown he threw was at the end of the game where, you know, he extended the play, and it was on 4th down. They just blew it up to be this big thing. Personally, I don't think it was that great. Personally, you know, it's a play. I guess it's huge for a rookie. I guess you take what you can get when you've been losing. A team with the opposite record, 4-9 compared to 9-4. And I know people are. The thing that's crazy to me is people are jumping off the Texans bandwagon at 9-4. I don't understand it. But whatever. You know, we could be in worse positions. So I mean, I think that is going to be very interesting to see what happens when we go up there. Everybody's talking about the weather. It's supposed to be about 50-something degrees tomorrow, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think the rain is mainly happening today, and I think it's supposed to be a little bit drier tomorrow. So I don't think that, I mean, hopefully the field dries. I don't know how that works. I mean, maybe it might still be moisture. But my thing is this. We're a running team, so I'm not really worried about that. So I'm not really – just being honest, man, there's nothing about the Jets that really scares me. I'm more concerned about the Texans coming and playing their A game. If you're talking about two teams playing their A game, the Texans – where'd that fucking come from? Fucking hiccup and shit. Two teams should if the two teams come playing their A game, the Texans should win handily. But it's about the Texans and their mentality and going on the road. You know, maybe they're hearing some of the talk. Oh, Jets aren't that good. You're looking at the record. Oh, record's not that good. Looking at the rookie. Oh, that rookie's not that good. You could take the cheese. As long as you don't cut the cheese, I guess it's all right. They said they did practice outdoors, even though it was, like I say, it was cool. But, I mean, the weather here, it was kind of warm one day. And then by the time it got back cooler, they were already on the road pretty much. Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? So, you know, I'm just saying, you know, JoJo, yeah, I agree. They're going to whip that ass. It ain't even no thing. But like I say, you know, it's going to be a situation where I feel like the Texans should go in there and dominate. They should be able to play their style of football. The starting running back and their best receiver are out. Okay, you got a rookie quarterback who's not that good. You got a backup quarterback who's not that good. Plus, the rookie quarterback is dealing with a foot injury. Okay, so you know it is what it is. I think that Sam is going to be probably put under some of the most pressure that he's seen all year. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think Clowney's going to be angry, wanting to make up for, you know, his misstep at the end of the last game. So I don't think the Texans are looking at this as a trap game, or of course, trap games are the ones you're not looking at. You're looking forward. I don't think they're really looking at the Eagles. I don't really think, you know, you look forward to too many other games because none of the teams that you have left to play, you know, or major or contending right now. But at the same time, you know, you don't want to look forward, just be worried about the playoffs and then get your fucking feet swept from under you. And then next you know, you sitting on your ass on your couch watching everybody else play football. So my thing is, you say, oh, they partying on that. I ain't watched. I don't really be on the IGs like that. So I guess I have to go back and check that. But again, the thing I find oddest, the most odd thing I find about this game is that it falls on a Saturday. And you're talking about a coach who's basically a lame duck coach right now that they're going to be firing at the end of the year. I think they're just kind of, letting it go, let it be what it be. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens ultimately. And that should be a Texans win. And I think that it bodes well for the Texans knowing that if you can go into New York, you get this win, even though you consider it a short week, which is a short week for a rookie who needs all the reps that he can get. So that's another thing that falls in the Texans' favor. You get an extra day to prepare for, the next game against the Eagles. And so it should be pretty interesting to see what happens with that. And not saying that you need it, but, the Texans can allow people to get up on it. We talked about that briefly. And like I said, I don't want to go too far ahead, but I'm more concerned about Foles than I was about Wentz. That's like my whole thing, because Foles is the Super Bowl winning quarterback. Wentz didn't win shit. He had the hype train going and all that stuff. You're talking about, possible MVPs and all that shit. But I have no concern really about, not that I have no concern about Wentz, but I think that I don't know if Fireman Ed is still around. I want to say that he was, but I remember hearing something about him not that long ago, so I have no idea. It's going to be interesting because I don't know. I hadn't checked the injury report. I don't know what the deal is, but I know some folks early in the week said DeAndre Carter should be available. We know Kiki is out, so there's that. Yeah, and that's the thing too, because you got two teams, back to back East Coast teams, and so you just kind of got to consider that. I guess the weather is a factor, whatever it may be, but I don't know how big of a deal that is. I mean, these guys play football. A lot of these guys have played in colder climates. Maybe it may take a little bit of adjusting, but I think they'll be all right. But here's my deal. You got to be careful with the Philly special. We're gonna have the Houston special coming up. That's why they keeping Joe Webb, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all gotta be careful. They can run an H-Town special on them. They call this the old drip and slip. But again, like I say, we're gonna open up the sauce line here shortly. We're gonna take some calls. We're gonna get some things going. We're gonna see how y'all are feeling about this game because, like I say, for the most part, I addressed a lot of my thoughts and feelings in the video I just dropped prior to this. But the thing is, man, things can still happen. Like right now, the odds are slim. The odds are very slim. But if Miami can do it, maybe the Steelers can do it. No, I'm not counting highly on that because I think, the Steelers are just as bad against the Brady as the Texans are, honestly. I think against Big Ben, I forgot. I don't think they have. They won. Have they ever beaten? I saw something this morning. I don't know if they've ever beaten the Patriots, or if it was, it's only been like one time. So it is what it is. I got ejected last night in the game. I didn't catch the game. I just saw it late, or I heard everybody talk about it late, and I caught the highlights afterwards. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, YouTube does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. So, like I say, my thing though is, and then I didn't put the little notification on IG as I usually did. Like I say, timing and shit not getting saved. I'm stiff. I need to stretch, but I'm gonna get back. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get back on the Rockets with this game being early. I'll have Sunday to recoup, get everything in order. Like I say, that's how I'll finish up everything, and then we'll get back on the Rockets talk. I know I keep saying this shit, but it just things keep happening. So again, Texans versus the fucking Jets. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not super excited about it. I want it to happen. I'm ready for it to get over and done with. I'm ready for the Texans to get back on a win streak. I'm ready for Bill O'Brien to get that 10th win under his belt, finally. But this game is not a game that, like, it shouldn't be close. Because, like I said, I'll honestly be upset if the game is close. Excuse me. Again, because this team is, you just looking. I'm just really thinking about it. I mean, and I'm trying to find something to get excited about. Maybe Deshaun Watson versus that secondary, because they do got a nice little secondary. They got Claiborne, Tremaine Johnson, who was it, Adams, the safety, and they were talking highly of him. I think he's a second-year guy. So, these are guys you can look out for. But I mean, shit. You look at the Jets boards and you look at, the Jets media and stuff like that. I mean, they're giving the game to the Texans. It's like you at least want it to be a game where the opposing fan base feels like they have a shot, or they come around talking shit, or yes, that's the got me yawning. I'm thinking about the Jets and start yawning. But you want it to be something else on the line, not just another team in the way of you trying to make that playoff push. But I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there's just really nothing that's standing out. You got your second string running back going. Texans are a dominant run stopping team, so that's not an area of excitement. You have your starting wideout is gone. Your backup is pretty speedy, and again, his stats aren't bad. I mean, 31 receptions for 492 yards is not bad. And honestly, if you did the math, I mean, those numbers, if you adjusted it for the number of receptions, and it may be about the same thing Hop would be, but again, we're talking about scaling it. So he could be a viable threat, but you got to understand how much of the time he spent as a number two, and now with him being the primary target is a different conversation. I'm just being honest, man. I don't know what to get excited about this game, other than maybe it might be nice to see the Texans put on a dominating performance. But the thing about it you said all rookie quarterbacks should go 5-0 this week. You said, but Darnold will barely lose to the Texans. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get spanked. Because Darnold's not, to me, again, unless I'm just missing something, I don't see the excitement. I'm not fucking excited about it. I'm not. Yeah, Lee is suspended. Deron Lee, he's out for the rest of the season. Again, like I say, it's just. I mean, it is what it is. So your pick don't show Cooper Dak because they both non-existent. Purple Rain's the name of the special. So Texas just use double tight end sets. Man, and I would agree, because you have several talented tight ends. So I mean, there's that. Well, Cowherd, what did he say? He said something interesting today. I had it on in the background, and I noticed him throwing the Texans in there because he was comparing them to another team. And he's just talking about a team that you want to root for, and they always show up, early on, or it seems like they're going to do something, but then they always fail. And he's not necessarily wrong about that, because you get there, and then they make a splash, and then I think he was comparing us to the Chargers, actually. So, there's that. And we can briefly discuss that game. And because I don't understand why people are necessarily so surprised. Maybe the way that it happened, Martavis Bryant probably suspended for life. But he got popped for another one? Because I know they had picked him back up or something, didn't he? Wasn't he playing for a little bit? And then I know he's supposed to have a few games suspension, but I didn't know he was going to be out of there. But again, like I say, no way. He got popped again? Nah, stop it. The thing that you got to look at it is, oh my God, I must look this shit up. Damn it, Marte. Where's Darren? See, that's Darren's fault. Darren is the big Martavius fan, and then he got him. He also go by the name of Swisher, so now he got him all jammed up. Hello, T-Child, how you doing? And thank you. Yes, I like to think so myself. Hey-o. But yeah, the Jags finna start cleaning the house, man. They finna start cleaning the house. They finna start fucking revamping. They got a bunch of money they got to get rid of. They have to fix some things. But talking about that Chiefs and Chargers game, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you're talking about a whole different ball game. If Phillip Rivers doesn't throw the interceptions, you're talking about they might have fucked around and got smoked. But it is what it is. Interceptions are a part of the game. You got to make plays. You got to, it's part of the game. But, for all the hype and all the, look, he threw it with his sidearm, and look at what Mahomes, like, again, you see how these numbers have declined extremely ever since Hunt went out. You know what I'm saying? Ever since Hunt went out, where's those 35 points a game, or where's that highest scoring offense? You see the numbers have dropped. You see they have gone down quite a bit. And so, again, what I'm saying is Mahomes is nice, but it is the assets that he has that make it Also weird shit. It is the assets that he has that makes him, look the way that he does. And I think that's what people have to realize. And that's kind of what some of you start seeing a lot of people in the national media start saying today. Well, Hunt's not there and such and well, there's only so much that he could do. And what's up, Real Swift? What's the motherfucking deal? And so now you see that the shit that we've been saying all year, it's what happens is it starts coming to fruition. And again, we're not hating, we're not knocking it, but it is what it is. I know what I want to talk about. I know what I want to discuss. And then we're going to open up the sauce line after this conversation. But real quick, I see we got a couple of texts here. Let me check the text to see what's next. Man, I got that shit up loud. And for those of you, if you're not in it, make sure y'all subscribe to the Den channel. We'll be in the Den tonight. And I appreciate everybody who's been coming through the Den lately, man. Been some real good calls on some very interesting topics. And like I say, man, it's been some very, very good points. So y'all definitely got to check that out. If y'all like having real conversation about real shit, make sure y'all tune into the Den. Appreciate the love. Chandler, man, says shout out to you, Honcho. Shout out to Chandler, man. But, I want to talk about the Stephen A. situation. You know what I mean? Y'all done took it back to AOL. That's funny. I want to talk about the Stephen A. Smith situation. Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? So y'all saw that, right, before the Chiefs game. And when he was talking about Hunter Henry, and he was talking about a couple other guys that were there. And he said that, this was there, Hunter Henry was there, somebody else, and I forgot who all he said, but I mean, I'm saying all this just to say that we are we gonna bring that back to the chat? Is that gonna be the new Sauce Sports thing? ASL. What's up, Sauce Nation? This is Sauce Nation roll call. Let me get that ASL. ASLRP. Y'all know about that. Y'all youngsters ain't on that shit, man. That shit before y'all time. Ashbel, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Appreciate the love. Oh, I ain't even got the ain't got the dilly dally up there. My fault, I got it. Yeah, I guess because it's the same screen I used to do the. All right, I caught the end of it. To do the recording, so I forgot to put those back on there. But I appreciate the love, Ashmel, saying shout out for doing a live and a video. Yeah, trying to keep it cheap, trying to keep it back and flow. Like I hadn't dropped as many recordings. I've been, had some like I pre-did, but then something had happened, and then just I didn't save it to the right format. Then I did some other shit and just trying to just do some different things. But it is what it is. But Stephen A. Smith, man, and this is what it goes back to when we sit here and we say, man, that national media does not watch Houston Texans games. And so it made me think of that fucking video Ferocious had posted in the damn Den. He's a 20. No, was that the one? No, he posted the one. I seen the other one. She had another one, but the one that's a pirate. Shiver me titters. Arr, that fucking crazy shit. It's a 22. Pew, pew, pew. That shit's funny. But here's my thing, man. You said your friend bit a piece of broccoli, got him. That's crazy. That's what I say. It don't take much. But again, like I was saying, Stephen A. Smith and the national media and these guys, they do not watch. There's no way that you have time to watch every game. You might be watching some Red Zone or some shit like that, because there's no way that these guys have information on every basketball game, every football game. And they're watching all these games because they don't. And so they have assistants, they have researchers, they have people who go out and do the work for them that come back and bring them, aggregated information, or they put in a file or whatever it may be. And then you got, they use that information. They study it a little bit before the show, and, they give their educated opinions. Sometimes those opinions are not so educated. Yeah, I got some weird stuff going on. We got furries and weird stuff going on. Interesting. So again, Naveed, what's the motherfucking deal? Already. Oh, now we got some international love going on in here. That's what's happening. But again, man, what's the motherfucking deal, P&A? You know, I just got to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? That's funny to me. That's hilarious. Oh, so you're saying your friend did a ASMR broccoli bite? That's what he did? Not just like a normal piece of broccoli, or he did it as an ASMR video and got 1,000 views. That is interesting. All right, so this is what we're going to do, man. We're going to get ready. We're going to open up the sauce line. We're going to take some calls because, again, like I said, I don't want to be too repetitive. I talked about most of the things that I wanted to speak on in this game on the prior video. You know, the sauce, the streams, these are about y'all. Again, this is where the ingredients come in. And we mix all the ingredients in and we just, you know, you whip it up with the whip of the wrist and then you create the sauce. And voila. It's fantastico. I don't even think that's fucking how it goes. It's something like that. But anyway, all that good shit. So, all right, we got a call coming in already. We'll see who we got calling in. First, let me make sure this shit is in the right, the right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the sauce line this evening?
What's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Roman.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line this evening, man?
Oh, man, I just want to talk about Deshaun and these other young quarterbacks real quick, man.
Already. What you want to say about them?
All right. Well, the thing is, you know, I was looking at First Take. That was this morning, right? And it was Stephen A., William Kane, and Max Kellerman. They was talking. So these dumbass niggas coming on here talking about saying Dak Prescott is he one of the greatest young quarterback out of all the top out of all the top young quarterbacks in the league right now. And this nigga Will Kane, I'm a Cowboys fan, but he actually thinks Dak is one of the best. The thing is, Dak, this is my problem with Dak. You know, this is my problem. They actually went on an argument and actually said Dak is one of the best, and I've been heard people say better than Deshaun. The thing is, let me tell you something special about Deshaun. Deshaun doesn't have all these pieces he needs. He doesn't have the O-line. He doesn't have the receivers. I mean, he does, but it's a lot of pieces Deshaun don't have. And Deshaun still goes out there and proves his worth every night and on every Sunday, on every Monday, on every Thursday. Dak don't do that shit. Dak is trash. Dak, you have one of the greatest running backs in Ezekiel Elliott, one of the greatest young running backs in Ezekiel Elliott, and you barely can win. Y'all are a one-dimensional team that runs off of the run. When you take away the run from Dallas, y'all are nothing. Y'all are nothing. The thing is, you can take away the run from us. And I know saying that, how they took away the run from us last week with the Colts, it don't matter. We still are a good team just passing. Dak can't pass. Dak overthrows receivers. Yeah, I know Watson overthrows receivers. But Watson doesn't make the same mistake twice. You see Dak doing bullshit. And the thing is, what I like about Watson doesn't always throw to DeAndre Hopkins. He has other pieces. If you look at Cowboys games, that is all Dak throws to is to Cooper. One day that's gonna bite them in the ass into where they're gonna get blown out. Because you know what? They're one dimensional, and even in the pass game they're one dimensional. All you're going is to Amari Cooper. You know what teams is gonna start realizing? They're gonna start seeing all he's going to is Amari Cooper. That's it. That's how I feel about Dak. Then you got Patrick Mahomes. Look, let me tell you something real quick, Honcho.
Right.
I like Mahomes. I do. He's a brother, and I really do respect Mahomes. You know, he a light-skinned brother. He a mixed brother, but he a brother. I love my black people. I love Mahomes. The thing is, if I hear Mahomes one more goddamn time, bro, I'm tired of hearing Mahomes, man. They feel like this nigga is the second coming to Jesus. And I'm tired of hearing about him. They're believing in the hype, Honcho. You got to think about it. They did it with Watson. I'm not saying Watson's a hype. Watson has proved himself at this year. He's still a top reliable quarterback. He's not no system quarterback. The thing is, Mahomes has all the pieces he needs. And even when you start to take away pieces from Mahomes, he's not that Mahomes everybody loves. Take away Travis Kelce with injury. Take away Kareem Hunt. Take away all those other pieces. He is good, but he makes mistakes. The man is, look, you got to think about it. He has not won one national game. Not one. Deshaun has won every single national game on TV.
Yeah.
He hasn't won one. I looked it up. Not one. And what does that tell you? He's good, but he's overrated. We hear about him too much. It's other teams working out here. You had the Chiefs. This is the thing. This is why the Chiefs was overrated. Y'all was up by 14 3 times. 3 times, Honcho. 3 times. And then you just give up. Each time the Chargers is trying, and then eventually I knew that's the Chargers going to get it. You let them go down there. They make that 2-point conversion. Phillip Rivers, man, they came back. That game was good. They came back out of nowhere. That shows you that they're not a whole complete team. The Chargers is on their ass to get that number 1 spot. And the defense is suspect. It's trash. You know, Mahomes, the mistakes he makes, they always get on the Sean for running back and keep running back. But when I look, that's all Mahomes do. He always runs back, and he doesn't throw away the ball. He extends plays just like Watson. So why does Watson get bad media and bad attention for not throwing the ball away and doing stuff, but Mahomes don't? Stop believing in the hype. I want people to stop believing in the hype. I'm not hating on Mahomes because I like Mahomes. I say he's a brother. I don't like that. He Uncle Tom. Fuck him. He Uncle Tom, bro. I don't like that. But Mahomes, I like Mahomes. You know, he's a brother. So I'm just saying, you know, don't always believe in the hype. And just, I think, going back to the Texans, this team is something special. I know we got problems, but you got to learn, no team is special. I mean, not special. No team is perfect. Every team has problems. From the best teams of all time, maybe has problems. Especially everybody. Nobody is a powerhouse in the NFC or the AFC. So all I'm saying is Houston, they keep their shoulders up, win the rest of these games, do what they need to do. Man, fuck the media, fuck everybody. All the Texans need to do is to be the best team, is to have the support from us, and just believe in themselves. And I know they can do it. So how you feel about that, Honcho?
Man, I have to agree, man. I definitely feel like as long as the Texans, man, and that's why I was kind of a little disappointed last week, as long as the Texans handle their business, they're going to be all right. Everything else will fall into place. They just have to handle their business. And, I mean, that's really all it is, man.
Yeah. I agree. Everything just got to fall in place, and I feel like it will. So I know I've been talking for too long, man. Honcho, what's up to the round table, everybody, man? Keep up what you're doing, Honcho, man. I love the show. Just keep up, man. I love the den. Just like keep it up, man.
Already, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you calling in, Roman holding down the sauceline.
All right.
Already. Man, shout out to Roman holding down the line. Couple of points that he made. Definitely. Couple of points that he made. Something that I wanted to speak on. We talk about Mahomes, and that it was very, very interesting because he mentioned the primetime games, the big time games, when the lights come on. Watson's ready with a less talented team, regardless of the opponent, regardless of the competition. If you guys are putting Mahomes on the pedestal already, if they're putting Mahomes on, they're giving him this crown. And they talk about, oh, well, you know, the Texans haven't played anybody, but you see a lot of similar opponents in between the same two teams. You see a lot of similar opponents in between the teams that they're giving all this credit to. I mean, there's the AFC. Why is it that if this team is supposed to be superior to all these other teams, that they struggle when the lights come on, when all eyes are on them, when it's Tupac time? They start to struggle. My thing is, when you look at it, you know, you have to look at some things. I don't feel like Mahomes is as good under pressure. When things are going and then everything is in place, he's a solid quarterback. He can make some nice throws. He has some athletic ability. He has, he can do some things as far as passing. The ambidextrousness. He's crafty. But that's when everything is going your way. But when it's under pressure, when that pocket breaks down, if you put Mahomes in Houston, but nobody would be talking about it. It would be a whole different conversation. But again, like I say, and that's what old buddy was talking about today. Again, something that we were talking about today. You got put in the perfect position. You're talking about one of the NFL's great play callers. Can't do it in a major way, but one of the NFL's great historic play callers. You have Pro Bowlers all around you. You learned under a veteran who's been there for multiple teams. Has been in that position. You basically had everything laid out for you. Now, you look at these other guys, Watson had none of these things. Don't have an O-line. You got one consistent receiver because as much as we love Will is in and out. Will and Watson, Will has been in and out the lineup more than Watson has. Watson had that one situation and, he seemed like he was ready to go the next week, but you know how that goes. But, Will has been – and I don't want to put it on Will this year. It was just a fucked up play that happened to him. But the fact is that year in and year out, it's happened. And you almost got to throw the injury prone label on there. Not that because he's just frail, but he's prone to getting injured. And it is what it is. Because if we're going to throw it on Wentz, then you got to throw it on Will. And it's unfortunate because it's just multiple occasions. And it's not saying that he's not a good receiver. He's a damn good receiver, got much better this year. We saw that he developed the hands and everything else. But Deshaun hasn't had those tools, not consistently, not enough. Then again, like I say, you have Watson, you have a solid so-so running back. He can be very good some games he may not be very good at all. A lot of that additional running comes from Watson being able to use his feet. You look at that defense, and it's a good defense. I don't think they've been playing ultimately as good as they should be. I think, Watt has overachieved. A lot of folks said they didn't think he would get 10. I didn't think he was going to bounce back that great. I'll be honest. So, eat a little crow on that. But it's just, Clowney hasn't really emerged with the numbers you want to see because, what does he have, 6, 7 sacks? Which is cool because, you still got time. Darnold, you should probably give him 2 against Darnold, and hopefully you can get him a 10-digit before it's all said and done. You got Darnold, you got Foles, and then you got Kessler. So by the end of the season, Clowney should have 10. There would be no excuse for Clowney not having 10 sacks before the season is over with. But again, man, like I say, just little things that Watson hasn't had, but to me has performed better in the situations that he's been in as compared to Mahomes. You see what Mahomes does. A lot of what Mahomes has done is you'll throw a little 10, maybe 15 yards. He's not really having to air it out too much, and then he's putting it in those guys' hands, and you got these excellent playmakers and a lot of stuff out of the backfield, and they're able to generate, yardage because of what they can do. Dak is whack. Fuck Dak. But I thought it was funny, though, because you said that, that Pat's brother. Man, I heard a couple of people say that. They say that's why they don't really want to compare Pat versus Watson. I'm going to be honest, man. Patrick Mahomes sounds like he go to bed chewing dip. You know what I'm saying? He probably wake up and hop on a four-wheeler and ride to the stadium. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But Pat might be a other brother. Let's see who we got called in on the sauce line. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called in on the sauce line this evening?
Yo, what's the motherfucking deal? Honcho, it's PNA.
TNA?
You already know which one.
Oh, okay. PNA, man. What's the motherfucking deal? What you want to drop on the sauce line?
Nah, man, I'm telling you, someone got into my Google account and changed my thing, but to piggyback on what that other dude said, I think because, this last week before they played the Chargers, they played the Ravens, the Chiefs, and they almost lost the Ravens. When you ask, not to knock on the Ravens, their defense is physical, but if you ask members of the national media, or you ask Good Morning Football or Skip Bayless, you ask anybody, they'll say Kansas City is way better than the Ravens, right? But they almost lost the Ravens as soon as Tyreek Hill started having troubles. And I think that was the first week they didn't have Kareem Hunt, I think.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is Mahomes gets the benefit of that extra time in the O-line. Sure, he's a little mobile and he moves back to get the throws, but he just benefits all off the enthusiasm around him. And I think not only had Watson been put into the situation he's in,
or maybe even Trubisky or any of the rookie quarterbacks from that year had been put into his situation, they would all be flourishing. I'm not saying Mahomes not good. He's good. But, he's just gone into the perfect situation.
And I think so, too. I agree. And that's a good point that you made, because you talk about that Ravens game, and in the Ravens game, it was closer than it should have been. And then you talk about you look at the Raiders game before that, and that's what kills me because the national media is acting like, oh, well, they finna go and, the Raiders, they got to play the Raiders again, I believe, before it's all said and done. Oh, they're just going to beat the Raiders. How? Because they seemed to struggle with the Raiders a little bit last time. They only beat them by a touchdown. The Raiders put 33 up on them. I don't think the Raiders have done that too often this year. So that tells you that secondary that they have, that defense that they have is not really it. We called the Chiefs, and they said that's not it. But I think that they're going to have more struggles than people want to believe. And that's what I was saying, the other day, that if we want to look at stuff historically, people say, oh, well, Texas, they'll bomb historically because that's what they do. Well, shit, what do the Chiefs do historically? The Chiefs always start off fucking hot. Every year, the Chiefs are it. The Chiefs start off hot and end up falling off shit before the regular season is over with. So that's why I haven't been really on the Chiefs hype train, throughout this year. And I agree, Mahomes is good. And he's going to be a good quarterback for plenty of time, for plenty of years to come. But I just don't think that this year is the year that they're going to do it. Hello? All right, well, we'll end that call there. But appreciate you calling in. Say, going to be a long day waiting tomorrow. Shout out to Ashmael. Appreciate the super saucy super chat love. But again, appreciate PNA, not TNA. PNA. PNA calling in and dropping some sauce on the line. But I agree, man. I agree. Now I know some folks talk about Ellington, but y'all know Ellington is out for the Lions this game. So for all that we were talking about, and that's something we got to remember too. Ellington was frequently on the injury report for us also. So I mean, there's that to consider. So I know we sit here and we talk, man, we should have kept Ellington. Yeah, he would have been a nice addition to have, but no. Yeah, I'm kind of mad about that too. Pope was nice. Pope had a couple of very interesting plays, man. I like what we had seen from him, but it is what it is, Maybe next time for the Pope. But anyway, when Roman was talking about younger quarterbacks and he was talking about Dak, why is there a huge difference? And I'm not saying that every good quarterback have a star receiver, but does Dak rely much more heavily on his star receivers? Does he not have the ability to spread it out a little bit more? Because, Amari comes in, and that's basically Amari made those plays. It wasn't Dak making extremely great throws. It was Amari making great plays. I'm not on the Dak hype train. You know what I mean? I'm not on the Dak hype train at all. Even when Bryant was there, or, he had Witten, and Witten was good. I'm hearing that Dallas was trying to get Witten back. And Dallas should do us a favor. Witten should do everybody a favor. Go back and play another year or two for Dallas. You have to get off the commentary. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody get him off TV. That's a whole thing that we could do without. I think you could do everybody a favor if you just say, Witten, you ever thought about quitting? Might be nice. With Webster, in the 21-day window, that's cool. But I'm going to be honest with Webster. Like I say, even before we got him, I was always questioning that Achilles situation because, again, like I say, he got hurt after Foreman, came back way before Foreman. What happens? Has another similar setback with that situation. And now, shortly after Foreman gets activated and then, moved to the active roster, and then, he comes back because he only got a couple of plays to us only got a couple of plays with us, and then that was it. Now, I want to say he made a tackle or two in those couple in that drive that he had, but it didn't. But I'm telling you, they hired Witten off the strength of Romo. That's what happened. They were like, this Romo's pretty good. We should get his teammate, and he might be just as good. That way we'll have some quality commentary, and it didn't quite work out like that. So, there's that. You say hurting the Cowboys game after making the tackle on Zeke. No bueno. Say Dak has a losing record in games. That's what I'm saying. It's premeditated on Zeke. If Zeke doesn't do well, you cannot rely on Dak to win you a game. I mean, let's just be received. Let's be honest. If Lamar's not there, nobody's really that upset because we're counting on Deshaun. If Hop ain't there, but Hop's always there, so we don't know. Knock on wood. But we'd have to see how that is because, he does rely heavily on Deshaun, on Hop, but he does spread the ball around. He's been getting to the tight ends more so last game. I think the tight ends ate a lot more than Demaryius or Hop combined this last game. So you see that he has the ability to spread it around and not overly lean on his, number one wide receiver. More Colvin would be interesting to see. I don't know what the Texans have in this game plan. I don't know what they got going on, but it's like, it's Cornell and crew. I mean, he runs that defense, so ultimately it's up to him. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see. Several people talked there, but see, you stop acting like it's on. That's funny. Let's see. Something else somebody has said. But I'm just looking at the Chiefs, though. That's why I say I'm not big on the Chiefs, man. Like I say, everybody can ride with the Chiefs if they want to. I just don't have the faith. I mean, I've seen too many suspect games. And you want to talk about the Texans and not talk about the Chiefs. I think it's obviously media bias. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, bro.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight?
All right, man. But about that conversation, I always have this theory about. I'm not saying with that. Let's go take a step back for a little bit. About that West Coast offense that it started in the '80s and it's all been implemented and changed different ways by Andy Reid and all these other coaches. And I feel like that offense is making, quarterbacks look better than what they really are. Like, you see it with Pat Mahomes. Also, you see it with the Bears with Mr. Trubisky all under that Kansas City Reid tree. Like, most of it, I don't think they mostly have to read the defense. You just have to throw it to the open spot. It's more about receivers getting open than about quarterback reading the defense. And about Dak, honestly, like with Zeke being there, I'm not sure he's really seeing complex coverages or reading the defense because the defense, when it goes against the Cowboys, they can't play zone because all they're going to do is run the ball and get 5 yards every time. So they run man all the time. And if you run man, all it takes is for a receiver to get open. And that's why you're seeing with Dak's passing yards, people talking about, Dak threw for 455. But is it really Dak throwing? Is the ball really going in the air 30, 40 yards? Or is it really like a 10-yard pass that Cooper's taking to the house over and over and over again? So that's just something that people got to think about.
Okay.
I just want to spill that.
Okay. Very good point, Josh, man. I appreciate your call, man.
All right, man.
Already. Man, very good points. Very good points. And, again, talking about the West Coast offense and, some of these quarterbacks being system QBs. And I kind of feel like Mahomes is a talented system QB right now. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I'd like to not to hate on him, but I'd have to see him in a situation where everything isn't in his favor, where everything isn't basically been laid out for him, to be successful. Again, like I say, you're in a situation. You look at what is that, Trubisky. Everything's not favorable for him in his situation as far as offensively, but he's not. I don't think he's really that good either. But you have all these pieces that are just basically waiting for you. And all you're doing is just getting plugged in. I think that anybody could be successful with that because, again, we saw Alex Smith be successful. Does he have the arm talent or the youthfulness of a Mahomes? No, and I think those are advantages for Mahomes. But outside of that, I don't really think I'm not saying that I'm not hating on him, but I just feel like he's a system guy. And so we'll see how it plays out in the long run. We'll see how it is when every game matters. I think when the pressure's on, I expect to see a difference in what he's capable of doing. When you're talking about the playoffs, again, he's yet to have success in any of the primetime games. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Mahomes in the long run, man. And so we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens and the Chiefs don't get the bye week. Let me give y'all a little mark my words. If the Chiefs end up losing the division to the Chargers, mark my motherfucking words. First round exit. I don't care who they play. I don't. First round exit. If the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, it will be a first round exit. Okay. So there's that. Now, but what you got to think about though is this: is let's talk about something, And I'm looking at the West, and I'm just looking at you got a couple of good teams coming out. Then you look at some of these other teams around the division. You got the what are the fucking Steelers? What are they? 7-5-1, something like that. 7-5-1, something like that. But and there's a couple of 7-6 teams right there in the mix. There's a couple of teams in the conversation. I want to know how y'all feel. Do you think that maybe they should change it? Because again, you got two teams right now, both of them 11-3 with the fucking Chargers and the damn Chiefs, right? But then you got next under that, you got a couple of 9-3s, and you got a 7, whatever. But because of the way the divisions are, a team that has a better record than every other team in the conference, but because the team in their conference, they have the same record as a tiebreaker or whatever else it is, ends up becoming a wild card, ends up getting put into a situation. They've outperformed all these other teams, And so I'm just saying overall, should it be adjusted? Not just this year, but I'm just using this year as an example because of how this scenario plays out. Should it be the 6 best teams? No, and I understand most of the time it doesn't happen like that. But should it be the 6 best teams? Because you may have 2 divisions that have teams that have superior records. It could be, what if it's a tough year? You got two divisions that have teams that end up, an 11-5 and a 10-6. Okay, and then you have a division who comes out with a 9-7, a couple of 8-8 teams. You have some 7-5, 7-5 team fuck around, or 9-7 team fuck around and win a division again, and a couple of should it be really about the best team? You can still have your division championship, but if your division was weak, then you just don't get a say so. Yeah, similar to how the NBA does it. Should it be adjusted to be that way? Does that provide for better football? Or does your division championship should that automatically guarantee you access to the playoffs? You just got to be better than your division. If so, how does that change the dynamic of the league when it comes to drafting, when it comes to drafting, when it comes to again, because a lot of these divisions, say, we got pass rushers to deal with Indy, and when Peyton was there, and now the Colts now with Luck, and they bolstered that line to deal with that pass rusher. You got the Jags, they went and bolstered up their defense and improved their secondary to deal with better passers in the Luck, because prior to Deshaun and Mariota's ass, anyway. But the thing is, how do you justify a team with more wins like the Chargers more than likely being a 5th seed? How do you validate that and having a better record than the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seed? I think that's a legitimate cause for concern. And regardless if it does hinder us as Texans fans, it makes me think. It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. I know it's not fair, but I try to look at stuff as from a legitimate perspective, everything being equal, not to let too much of the bias implement it. But I think that that's something to consider, man. That's definitely something to consider. But let's get back to this Jets conversation for just a second. And again, just to go full circle. Exactly. Like, how does that make sense? Like, yeah, you're guaranteed a playoff spot, but you can't. You have to hope and pray, that some things take place so you can win your own division. But it's still a bunch of motherfuckers who don't even know for sure if they're one in the playoffs or if they're going to win their division or whatever it may be. So I think it is what it is. But again, like I said, look at this Jets game, man. It's not really a lot to get excited for, and that's what kind of, as a fan, yeah, you're gonna watch your team. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be a thing at all. You're gonna watch your team. You want to see your team. You want to know what your team has going on. But what's the matchup? You got Tremaine. We're taking calls. You got Tremaine. You got again Claiborne so, and you got the dude Jamal Adams. Those are going to be your most interesting guys. Their best linebacker suspended for the year. Again, the starting running back is out of there. Their best receiver out of there. Like I say, it is what it is, man. And I want to know what the general consensus is on ckin right now. We've seen him be here a few games, 6 games total. And, when he's here, he's an asset. He's definitely somebody you have to respect on the field because of what he can do. And I almost say 5 games because I think 2 of those games he didn't come back after the half. So I want to know how y'all feel. If you were to rate Kiki between, I don't know who's calling in unknowns. I don't answer the unknowns. So, that's you calling? Okay. I just happened to look up and see that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
What's good, Honcho?
Okay. What's the motherfucking deal? Wink, what you want to drop on the sauce line this evening?
Man, shit, no, man. I just called part of the show, man. I wanted to hear what you was talking about, so I can go ahead and make a quick point because I was hearing what you were saying about the playoff situation, and to be honest, that's really the direction that the NFL needs to go in. I think teams being cheated and being penalized for having better records than teams without better records makes a better playoff run and better games to teams that people want to tune into.
Okay. Yeah, let me turn the volume up a little. I think the volume is low. Let me.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. All right. So you're saying that you feel like the NFL is trending in that direction as far as the playoff situation?
Yeah, I was saying, man, I mean, honestly, it should trend that way, the point that you were just making on what somebody else was making in terms of, teams, because the NFC South has been like that. They had like 3 teams that's 11-5. There's no reason that all 3 of those teams should make it. But honestly, I think they need to open up the spots, like an extra 2 spots, or at least 1 extra spot, you know what I'm saying? Because some teams, could be tied up in different conferences, and a lot of situations can end up happening that end up playing out when it comes to Week 17s, and a lot of teams that beat this team, you to beat 2 teams, and it's too many tiebreakers. So I feel to eliminate a lot of the tiebreaker scenario, just open up an extra spot for the playoffs. It doesn't make no sense. I mean, it ain't gonna do nothing but bring in more rates and bring in more money for the NFL anyway. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the more games you got, the more money you're gonna have shaking. And like I say, so just looking at that game, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on it because we briefly talked about it. Because the Jets, let's be honest, the Jets game is something the Texans should go in there. They should handle business. It's just not that exciting, in my opinion. I mean, we want the Texans to go in there and win, but it's hard to really find too much to harp on. But I want to know your thoughts about the Chiefs and the Chargers game, and just because we kind of talked about the other day that it's not out of the likelihood that the Chiefs could lose out because we've seen them do it season in and season out. But what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I call it. Man, we said that shit. Man, I said they was gonna lose. I knew their time was coming. You see how people are gonna start attacking them, and this situation only feels a little bit shittier because if we handled our business, last week, especially with them getting the win, especially had they lost last week as well. The only reason why they would be ahead of us right now is because of the conference record. The fact that they have one more, win or loss, than they got one less loss in the conference than us is the only thing that keeps them ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? So unless they lose to the Raiders, that's the only way we can even be in a position to overtake them in the seeding process. So that's the only thing we can look forward to. But I think if New England doesn't handle their business, like you said, man, the second seed is more than attainable. And as far as the Kansas City Chiefs are concerned, bro, all you got to do is play them physical on defense. Play them physical on defense. You know what I'm saying? Run the ball effectively. And just, make sure that your receivers and shit like that can get open, because even when it comes to pass defense, they still not the greatest at that either. Yeah, I mean, they got a nice little front seven. They got a nice little pass rush, but it could be taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? And running the ball with a guy like, like Lamar Miller, he could take advantage of a team like Kansas City. And the fact that Deshaun Watson's already played against the Kansas City defense twice already, preseason and the regular season game last year, which the roster really hasn't changed much. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't have the data to go into that game knowing where his vulnerabilities are and where he can't take exploits of matchups. Because I think when it boils down to it, he's just going to have to exploit matchups when that game comes to fruition.
All right, man. Shout out to Real Swift 713. Appreciate the love. And he says, to tell Wink, I said, what up, and Sauce going to last forever. Yes, sir. And,
what he said now?
He said to tell you what's up.
Oh, man, hey, shout out to Real Swift, man.
And then asked me, I say shout out to us. They put Kareem back at safety and Reed at corner. Oh, I don't know about Reed at corner just yet. I don't know if that's the move you make. Like,
you
got to keep everything in front of him.
No, you can't chance that. You can't chance that right now. We ain't. No, the only person I trust to go back and forth is Kareem. That's it. Anybody else? No, absolutely not.
And another question was, they was asking about the extra game. So you saying like a play-in game for the playoffs? When you say,
I guess you could say I probably wouldn't put it in that sense, but you could look at it like that. It's kind of like a bonus. You could even do it like do the conference. Like say like you can pick the two teams. Say like if two teams, say like three teams in the division. I'm gonna use the NFC South because the other year they was all like 11-5. Use them. You can have one of them. And you could have another team that finished like 10-6 or 11-5 in the AFC and have them duke it out. When it comes to like kind of like a I won't say like a mini Super Bowl, but it's kind of like to show that they deserved to be in the playoffs type shit. I mean, I'm kind of having a hard time really trying to explain it. But when you really think about it, it's a lot of teams that end up having a lot of divisions that end up finishing like 10-6, and them teams end up getting penalized for no damn reason at all. And this, the division route, I mean, it's been in place for so long. Fans are probably gonna look at it like, why should we change this? But a lot of teams get hold, and when it happens to your team, then you'll want to jump on the train and be like, you know what, that ain't a bad idea.
Yeah.
But because a lot of teams, how many times over the years, over the last 4 years, have we not heard, oh, the Texans don't deserve to be in the playoffs, they 9-7 and such and such and such. Bitch, we won our division. Or if that's what it took to win our division, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, your division ain't like our division. It's a building in progress, and from here on out, the division can be better. So, I mean, that's something that is going to be a big talk when it comes to national media members and local media members next year when it comes to the rivalry between Watson and Luck going forward for the next few years. I think they're still young enough to play each other for the next 6-7 years, barring any injuries and barring, anything really major happening to either one of these dudes. But you can almost bank on whoever comes out of the gate first is who going to end up winning the division for the AFC South when it comes to these two quarterbacks. But that's the call, man. I'm going to allow everybody else to call in. Shout out to South Nation. I'm going to be on the show tomorrow. What time we going live tomorrow for the
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm thinking probably 2:15. May throw an extra little 15 in it because I know it starts at 3:30. It's supposed to be. So we're probably like 2:15 and we'll do a little 15 minutes early. So appreciate you calling in.
All right, bet.
All right.
All right.
Oh, shit, my fault. But what I was saying is I'm glad he mentioned that because pregame tomorrow, man. Y'all know we do the pregame, and I keep forgetting the fucking games on a Saturday. That shit is fucking throwed off. 2:15. So what we may do is do something a little bit different. I'm thinking 2:15. Oh, maybe two. Nah, maybe we probably do 2:15 because I said if we would have won the Colts game, I'd have opened it up, did a little bit more, so that way we could have call-ins before the game. Y'all let me know. Like I say, this is soft sports, man, and it's all about the fresh ingredients. It's all about the fresh motherfucking flavor. So I want to know what y'all think. And then if you catching this late, if you listening to the stream later on and you coming in and catching it, just I want you to hit that comment section if you're not live with us. If you catch this later, I want to know what y'all think, and we'll tally up some votes and see. Matter of fact, let me bring up the little dilly dally. We'll bring up the little poll. That'll be the easy way. So this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to decide if we should go a little bit earlier and take calls in the pregame show. And so, instead of, with the mark my words, instead of, trying to catch them all from the, from the chat, which sometimes can get a little bit difficult because it's hard. So maybe, that's what she said. Maybe open up the line, maybe go a little bit earlier and then take some calls in, and you can call in and just kind of leave a quick, mark my motherfucking words, yada, yada, yada. And then something like that. So we're going to run a little vote real quick. I'm going to pull the bot up. Make sure when you vote, okay, ! Vote, all one word, space, and then the number of your vote. So if it's 1 or 2, so if you vote in 1, it's ! Vote, all one word, space, and then the number of your vote. So we'll get that going. We'll let that run for about 5 minutes. I want to know what y'all's thoughts are. So should we take calls in the pregame show? So if yes, then we'll go a little bit earlier so folks will have time to call me. You have time to call in and, like I say, y'all call in and just say, hey, mark my motherfucking words, such and such and such and such is going to happen. And, I think that'll actually be a more interesting idea. And in that way, like I say, if there's somebody you can tell your friends and say, hey, look, man, I called in to the show and this is what I said and this is what happened. Oh, nigga, I don't believe it. Prove it. So that way you ain't got to go all through the chat and be like, see, I said it right here. Say, look, this is my voice, motherfucker. It was me. And that way they can't deny you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be a nifty idea to, do it a little bit earlier. So. Let me see where we at. That's a poll on show. I bet it's acting janky, but I can still see it here. So, But again, so I think it almost looks obvious anyway. But we'll see how that plays out. This is what I need. But let's see. What's the motherfucking Daytown showstoppers? Yeah, I see y'all got this this new little game y'all got going on here. I gotta go back and see all the rules and see how this is working. It looks like a consensus. It looks like a consensus opinion on that one. So we'll probably do that. We'll probably go a little bit early. So we might get it jumped off at 2:00. And then so that way, like I say, we'll get the conversation going. Y'all can call in, drop your mark my motherfucking words, and drop your motherfucking words, and then there's a little score prediction to go with it. And then that way we'll just jot that down, and then whoever we'll see who was right about it, who was wrong about it. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll work. We'll go a little bit early tomorrow. So it's already looking like a consensus, yes. Shaka Khan. That's what y'all playing, Shaka Khan? I love Shaka Khan. She fire. But seriously, though, like I said, but we got to do something to to get this to get this thing going. What we got here? Let me go and copy that right there. I'm not gonna predict it till tomorrow. I'm gonna give y'all my prediction tomorrow. And then I will. And then, like I said, I'll let y'all know. I don't want to ruin it. But let's just say I expect the Texans to restore the confidence in a lot of people. And again, like I said, it's odd that a lot of people jump ship after 9 straight wins. Regardless of how you get them, it's tough to get wins in this NFL. It felt like, I'm seeing people on the Twitter sphere, and just abandoning ship immediately. Like, y'all realize Colts have a solid offense. Their defense has stepped up a lot. It's not quite there yet, but it's stepped up a lot. You realize every time the Texans got in the red zone, we scored. We're 3 for 3 in the red zone. We just didn't get in the red zone enough to solidify that one. We had Joe Webb playing slot receiver. We had Honey Badger returning kicks. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? And that's my thing is, like, I understand we can talk about history. We just got depleted in some areas. And again, that's you got to look at Kiki and his absence and how much of an impact it's been. And I know people say, well, we should have kept Ellington. Again, Ellington's not even playing in this game this week, So I think that's something you got to look at. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on Sauceline this evening?
What up, Honcho? This is Jay Dizzle.
Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the Sauceline tonight?
Okay, well, excuse me if you hear some noise in the background. That's my GPS. I'm out here, unfortunately, in Indianapolis.
Oh,
but I'm going to have to disagree with Wink. Number one, you couldn't even explain what the fuck it was you were talking about. You just want extra game. I feel you, my nigga, but it don't match up with the bracket. If you add 1 or 2 more teams, it's 16 teams in the conference, and you want 7 or 8 teams to make it, so half of them make it to the playoffs? Nah, bro, 6 is good enough. We don't need no more than that. So I'm just going to disagree with you on that. As far as the Dak Prescott talk went, I agree with a lot of the way people was talking, and I would like to, since it is fucking Friday, send a sincere fuck him to Dak Prescott for not standing up for his goddamn people when he had the chance. He stood up by his slave master. So you could do that, my nigga. You could be a house nigga if you want to. But I ain't fucking with you, even though I did like Prescott coming out of college. I liked his game. But when he did that, I lost all respect for him. The same as Cam Newton. I love Cam Newton. But when he didn't back his people, I can't fuck with him either. As far as Mahomes goes, I can't get mad at Mahomes, and I can't get mad at the media for talking about Mahomes because we all watch it. That dude out there having fun. He throwing no-look passes in the game and shit, bro. Like, he got it so comfortable, he could do whatever the fuck it is he want to do. So he just out there just winging it, and it's working. So I can't be mad at him. When Watson was doing it last year, Watson did some of the most incredible shit I've ever seen in my life. Dude with the swipe at the ball, he put that bitch behind his back on the other side and then threw a fucking touchdown. Like, nigga, who have you ever seen do that shit in a game, bro? Nobody. Watson is a fucking playmaker, period. Hopkins is a playmaker, period. Now, I would also like to bring in the weapon comparison as far as the Chiefs and the Texans. Okay. I don't know if y'all realize it, but Will Fuller is our Hill, our version of Hill, Tyreek Hill. But he's not as fast or explosive as Hill is. But he's our big play guy. Mm-hmm. No matter how it is you want to look at it. And if you don't agree with me, just think about his catches to touchdown ratio when he was playing. Hmm. That was ridiculous. Don't nobody do that. That's not normal. Okay? Tyreek Hill is a better player in my opinion. I don't care what you say. I would give up Fuller for Hill any day of the week. He healthier too, so that's a bonus. But also, just looking at that aspect, there would be no reason that we shouldn't find somebody to back up that position on our offense for Will Fuller. I don't care if they do it through the draft. I don't care if they do it through free agency. We need another deep threat. We're supposed to have that other guy, I guess, that we had on the practice squad. I can't think his name off top.
About Smith.
But something ain't going right in that area where he not playing. So it must be something that they see that we ain't able to see. So I'm just going to take the coach's opinions for that. I'm going to go with what their decision is. But that's all. Oh, yeah. And also, one more thing. Since it is also fucking Friday, I would like to send another sincere fucking to the referees of the Rockets and Lakers game the other night. You bitch-ass niggas had us out there putting our hands behind our back, man. Y'all some hoe-ass niggas for that. Y'all not the major contributing factor to why we lost, but it damn sure was a significant reason. Okay? We was turning the ball over at the end. We was fucking up on our own. I put that on us for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to say, where in the fuck is Wise Citizen at? Where you at? You was talking all that shit about my Lakers before the season started. Now you know where to be found. I ain't seen you. I ain't heard from you. I see you got your head stuck in the books. I feel you, my nigga. I salute you for that. But your head was up in the clouds before the season started. You need to come on down to pro height, my nigga, and come holler at me. JD now.
Already, man. Appreciate the call, J Dizzle. What's the mother? Oh, well, if somebody else was calling in, my fault. Whoever that was, you call back in. I'll definitely take your call there. Man, some very, very interesting points. That was very, very, and I forgot Jay Dizzle was a Lakers fan. That's unfortunate, man. But we can't all be perfect. But some very, very interesting points that were made there, man. Very interesting points. And we'll touch on a couple of them. The Will is Healed deal. The Will is Healed deal is definitely something that I would agree with. Is he as good as Tyreek Hill? I would say no. But is he our version of that? I would definitely agree. I have no idea why they're playing on Saturday. I'm still trying to figure that out myself, what was going on with that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in on the sauce line this evening? Well, goddamn. You look, fooled me once, shame on, you know what I mean? Just fooled me twice, shit, shame on you. Goddamn. Bruno, shame on you, shame on you. Look, I got it backwards. See, shame on me for fucking up the motherfucking saying. So there's that. Hold on, let me get it right and keep it right real quick. But again, so let's try this a third time. Third time's a motherfucking charm. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening? No, I guess I should cut the shit up, huh? What's the motherfucking deal? My fault. Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
What's up, Honcho? It's Mello, bro.
Mello, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the sauce line tonight, man?
I ain't got nothing pretty much to drop. I just want to say shout out to the Ryan Taylor, shout out to Wayne, shout out to you, bro. I ain't got nothing to say on the Jets because they ain't worth speaking of. Fuck them whole ass niggas. But I do want to say it's much love to you, Honcho. Appreciate what you been doing every time you hop on this stream, bro. I fuck with you hard, man. That's all I want to drop on the sauce to see, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, Mello, man. Just showing some love. That's what's up, man. Already. Shout out to Mello, man. Mello been holding down the sauce, man. He been holding down the den. I'm telling y'all, man, look, y'all gotta fuck with that den, man. I'm telling y'all. So I've been seeing lately, some new folks been sliding through the den. I think that we've been getting some new response. So y'all gotta check that out, man. Because like I say, it's definitely good to hear, different folks' opinions. And we ain't all gotta agree because it ain't about everybody agreeing. It's just about seeing how different people view different situations. And when you get to see the other side, you grow from that. Yes. The den at 10. I was trying to do what the H time was. Okay, I was gonna say it's going down in the den at 10. You know what I'm saying? Got a corner bin. Me and my friends in the den. We all friends in the den, man. Hold up. But no, definitely check that out. Tonight we're gonna talk about the deterioration of masculinity or manhood. I forgot what I named it. It's either masculinity or manhood. I think it's manhood. But we're gonna discuss why, the nation, or why, it seems like America wants men to be less and less manly, or have less and less masculinity or manhood, whatever you want to call it. It's all toxic, right? Whenever time I hear that word toxic, you know what the fuck I think about? Toxic fucking Avengers. Y'all remember that shit? Toxic Avengers, that fucking cartoon? Y'all don't know about that shit. Y'all act like y'all know. Y'all don't know about that shit right there. That shit was before most of y'all time. Y'all don't know about Toxic Avengers. So ultimately, man, you know what I'm saying? We got plenty of stuff to talk about. We're gonna talk about some. Yeah, they don't know about the whoop, man. You know what I'm saying? You got whoop to the whoop. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's by whoop. You got to whoop to the whoop when you whoop. Don't be no coon. You got to whoop, man. So there's that. my thing is this, a fanboy. Stop the shenanigans. Stop. Here's the deal. Here's the dilly dally. All right. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna get ready to wind it down, man. And like I said, we'll be in the den at 10 o'clock. If you hadn't checked the video, like I released a video shortly before the stream went live, so make sure you check that out. Greatly appreciated. And we're gonna go a little bit early tomorrow because, like I said, I seen the votes look like they won, or look unanimous to me. And so what we'll do tomorrow is something a little bit different. Normally we don't take calls, but we'll take calls for the what's the motherfucking deal. For to mark my motherfucking words tomorrow. So we'll go live at about 2 o'clock. And then game is at 3:30. So we'll go about an hour and a half. We'll allot some extra time for some calls and, you know, thoughts. Sometimes we always push it up against the clock whenever we only do the hour. And then that'll still give us time, you know, to drag up a few minutes early so everybody can get situated. So we'll probably be live about 2. It's 3 o'clock, 3:30. I thought it was 3:30 tomorrow. So we'll make sure we make that shake. JFK put a man on the moon. Obama put a man in a woman's washroom. That's hilarious. That is fucking funny. Now y'all have me. Y'all really don't understand how fucking funny that is to me. But so with that being said, man, we got plenty to talk about in the den this evening. So make sure you're there. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Link in the description below. Tree 50. Tree 30. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate each and everybody, one of y'all coming through. Shout out to everybody who called in, man. I appreciate the calls. Appreciate everybody holding down the sauce line. Again, like I say, 2 o'clock tomorrow, most likely. If not 2:15, you know, you gotta give it Honcho time. I'll be there. But with that being said, Jets versus Texans prediction will be made tomorrow on the live stream. Yeah, we're gonna have a den tonight. We're gonna den tonight. We'll den tomorrow, and we'll definitely den Sunday since we probably won't stream Sunday unless we maybe do a recap of if anything changes for the Texans position. You know, if the Pats take a L or something like that, we might talk about it. But for the most part, you know, just with the Texans playing tomorrow, we'll probably be chilling on Sunday, and then we'll be in the den. And so I'll figure out what we do if we do something with the mixer crew. You know, that's VIP shit, though. Y'all don't know about that. But with that being said, Chuck Up a Deuce, man, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Yeah, man, we still did. I just fell off for a couple of days. We've been back on the last few days, so we'll be back at it tonight. So the den, we will be in the den at 10 tonight, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for supporting Sauce Sports. Appreciate all the love from everybody who's just been holding it down, man. But with that being said, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Don't let nobody ever tell you different. Y'all stay saucy. Hey, I'm out.